Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you for all the lovely comments on my last How I Junk Journal page. This, as I say, will look eventually a lot nicer when I have a New Beginnings photograph in there. Not this one, probably my son and his new wife, I would imagine, but I'll do that later. So the next prompt is past. And I'm going to work chronologically through this journal. I don't always do that. Quite often I dip in and out of different pages. But I'm sort of challenging myself just to go through this. I'm going to do a double page spread again for past. And I am going to journal about my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. This is her as actually a very young girl. She's only about 13 or 14 in this picture. This is with her young niece, who she looked after. I mean, I think it's a very beautiful photograph, actually, but I know that she wasn't particularly happy at this time in her life. Her mother had just died, and she had been sent off to her older sister's house, a very long way away from where she was born and where she lived, to look after this little girl. And it must have been really tough, but anyway, she came through and was a fantastic grandmother. And this is pretty much how I remember her from when I was a little girl. I think this was taken in the 1960s. And she sat there in her pinny next to the range, which was a fire and various ovens. My grandfather, Pop, sat on the other side. And Nan sitting like that was a rare sight. She was usually up and busy. So I'm going to use these 2 pages. I've just got a couple of things. I found an image of a flowering currant, which was one of Nan's favourite flowers. She liked hydrangeas. I might use that, which is from another book. And in Sarah's journal, these were the items that were attached to this page. I probably won't use these, but I think I'm going to use this, although not quite in this form. So what I'm going to do now is go away and have a think, and I'll come back and show you how I'm going to progress with this page. Okay, so I'm going to work on this side first. I've got sort of an idea. So I've cut this was stitched along the middle of this, and I've just cut the edges off to release that bit of fabric, which I'll keep and use somewhere else. And I'm going to use this as a journal card in my journal, and I'm going to use this photograph on it, but I want to pretty it up a little bit. I had this sitting on my desk, which is a tag from a chapter 1 paper, and I think that would look bizarrely, and this happens quite a lot when you're doing this sort of thing, it was exactly the right width. I don't know how that happens, but it does happen quite often. So I think I'm going to put it something like that, and then I'm going to decorate it with a little bit. I thought about cutting this off and using this, which I might still do, or I might use this bit of lace. I just want to decorate the side of my card. So it'll be something along these lines. I'll just gather it up and pop it on the edge here. I like the way it picks up the lace in the picture, in the photograph. It's also the very last bit I've got of a vintage christening gown, which I've used a lot in my journals, but I have not in any of my own. So it would be nice just to keep a little bit of that for myself. And that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm not going to film all of that. If I think you need to see something, I'll come back. But this I'll cut off here and stick it top and bottom. Stick my picture down, and then I'm going to stitch around the photograph. Attach this. I will show you how I do that, and then we'll see where we go from there. Right, I'll show you where I've got to with this side. It's taken me quite a while so far, which is why I don't record everything. So I wanted to tone down this image at the top here. It wasn't particularly appropriate, so I've just stuck some tissue paper over that, just using glue stick, so that'll give me more surface to write on. With my card, I've done exactly what I said, and I've stitched around the photograph and around the edge of the card. I backed it onto tea-dyed paper. This image, which is from Nan liked hydrangeas as well. This is from this book called The Flower Garden, and I think you're meant to use the book and, I don't know, put it like that. But these sort of push out, they're nice pockets. So that's The Flower Garden by Michael Scott. I've glued a scrap just out of my scrap box. This says Great Writers, which obviously I'm not at all. But I wanted to bring in a little bit of brown down the bottom as well. And I have cut off this little piece here, just, I don't know, I just felt it gave us a bit more space. This I glued just 3 sides, so it's essentially a really shallow pocket. And I think that'll hold in there. If it doesn't, I would just put a paper clip here. And I do want to put this bit of lace on, but I wanted to cut down the bulk. So I've cut out this piece here, just snip that off. And I'm going to do this with this. I'm going to pop that through my sewing machine and do a straight stitch, and then I'm going to zigzag it on over the top down there. So it should look something like that, and it, as I said before, it just picks up the lace and it gives me a bit of that christening gown. So I'm going to go away and do that. I should tell you that Nan was born in 1899, so this page is about her past on this side. It's back to front, but that doesn't worry me, and this will be my past on this side, just so that we're going along with the prompt a little bit. I'm not very good at thinking outside the box in some respects, and I tend to take the prompts quite literally. I'd like to get better at being a bit more imaginative, but you know, that's how it is. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so we're back for a bit more of this spread. I feel like it's taking me ages. It's the following day now, and it's actually almost lunchtime, so I haven't had much crafting time since I left you yesterday, although it won't seem to you like I left you. So this is how this page has finished up. I don't think I'm going to add anything else to that. Ideally, I would have liked this to be this side, just so that the bulk is away from the centre of the book, but it didn't look right, so I've just gone with it and put it where it looks right to me. So the next thing I'm going to do is this tuck here. This was already in the journal, this little tuck spot. Sarah had put that in the journal, and as I said to you before, I found this red currant book page from a book like this one, but I think it was called Garden Shrubs, Concise Guide in Colour to Garden Shrubs. And in my excitement, I stuck my picture of Nan, her name's Elsie, stuck the picture down, and so this is all flimsy, and I can't write on it really, so I thought that I would frame it, and I found some old wallpaper. This was gifted to me by Joe Hoskins in New Zealand, so thank you, Joe. I've used up quite a lot of what Joe sent me in a wonderful happy mail. But this is left, and I've left one edge straight and I've torn the other edge, and I'm going to glue that round like so to do a frame for this image. So let me do that quickly while you're all watching. Hope everybody's feeling okay and doing okay. sure most of you are dealing with quite a lot still, as we are here in the UK, one way and another. But we just sort of keep on going, I guess. My son and his wife came round last night. They're quite newly married, so it's quite strange saying that, and quite nice as well. Came round for supper last night, so that was good. They're good company. So this is just a way of dressing something up. I don't think I'm going to stitch on this, but I might change my mind in a minute, so we'll see. So that's that. Whether I stitch or not, I think this side is actually fine. Get rid of that. Just I sort of like the way that looks, and that again reminds me of my nan with the greens and the pinks. It goes prettily with this page if I have it round this way, and if I have it round this way, I'm going to do some writing on here to say why I've picked the Flowering Currant. I think I'll probably stitch around this edge. Pretty sure I'll do that. The variegated cotton that I'm using will pick up some of these odd little bits of purple that are here and there. And I can't decide at the moment if I'm going to do anything else on this background. Possibly not, but I will go and do my stitching and then I'll be back. So I'm back, and this is how I've finished this page off. I've stitched around here. Just put roughly when I think that photograph was taken. I've done a little bit of writing there about the Flowering Currant. I wanted to use up these scraps, the bit I'd cut off here and here, so that's just gone on the side there. I sewed it on this side first, and I didn't really like it on that side, but I'd obviously left a series of holes, which doesn't really matter. But I had got a little scrap of this, so it now says The Great Writers. If you read my writing, you'll realise, as I said before, that I'm far from a great writer, but that's fine. I didn't really want to do anything on the background, so in the end I just did exactly what I did here, which was write on some of that tissue paper, this last bit of tissue paper, and that's just glued down there with a glue stick. So that's the final day 2. I will probably just do a up here and put past on it. Probably should date it as well, but maybe not, doesn't really matter. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and it's not too simplistic really. I'm not a sophisticated scrapper at all. Thank you, bye bye.